Hello, everyone. Marilyn.
Sorry, my computer went weird. Hello.
I was like, where is he gone? Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for coming. I suppose I know there's people still joining. So I suppose we'll just jump right into it, will we?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're recording this webinar just so everyone knows. So as soon as this webinar finishes, you'll get a recording through your email address, but in case you've missed anything at the beginning. But yeah, I think we should get started.
Amazing. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to our webinar for all of you year 9s going into year 10 in September. Even at our ripe old ages, we remember how we felt when prepping for our GCSEs. And we know that the step up into exams and revision can be a little overwhelming. But if you've come here for motivation, direct, clear advice on prepping yourselves and your schedules for Key Stage 4, then you've come to the right place. Me and Marilyn, we're the right place.
Yeah.
This webinar is all about us making sure you know exactly what we have to offer to support you in the step up to GCSEs and making that transition as smooth and stress-free as possible. So, what's our plan of action this evening? Well, first up, we're going to get excited about the next 2 years by writing up some goals, some rocket goals, and doing a deep dive into what good habits we want to take into Key Stage 4 and any bad habits we want to get rid of as well, or just leave in the last few years. And then we're going to go over all of the resources we've got on our website, which will help you take one small step and one giant leap into Key Stage 4.
You like that script writing? You like that script writing?
I love that line. I love that line. Including pods and workbooks, giving you a whistle-stop tour of what to expect, learning activities and revision methods. We love our learning activities because they're just brilliant. Finally, we're not going to sugarcoat it and say that everyone will find years 10 and 11 a breeze. At sometimes you might feel stressed and sometimes even overwhelmed. We don't want that, so we're going to let you know about some wellbeing resources we have that will help you keep your health and happiness at the top of your priority list.
Definitely. And then obviously afterwards, if anyone's got any questions or want us to go through anything again, we've got a little bit of time if we need it to go through that stuff. Okay, so that's what we're going through today. It's really nice, by the way, to see such a large amount of people in this webinar. It's really nice, and we're really chuffed that you've taken the time to tune in and listen to us. It's no pressure on us at all, definitely not.
No, yeah, no pressure.
So first of all, before we get into the content, who are we? Well, I'm Merlin. I'm a learning content creator at GCSE Pod, and one of the central parts of my job is to hire the voiceover artists to do the content. So the Key Stage 3 content, if you've not already had an explore through it, you should do. There's some cool immersive audio. There's something a bit different there, something for everyone. So that's my job, and I'm joined with the lovely Katie this evening as well. Yeah. Tell a little bit about yourself, Katie.
Oh, yeah. My name is Katie. I am also a learning content creator at GCSE Pod, but I work with the authors who write our scripts for the videos and edit those scripts that go on to Merlin then for audio. So we've both got a little part to play in the content that goes onto the website, and it's really lovely as well.
Yeah, definitely. So, first of all, let's talk goals and aims. So, a lot of you will have maybe a goal for the rest of your life, like your dream goal, maybe your dream job or something like that. But then you'll also have smaller goals, maybe within the next week, within the next month, etc., etc. But yeah, everyone's got goals, no matter how big or how small. But we want to know what your goals are. So what do you want to achieve? So please let us know. In fact, I'm going to start a discussion in our Q&A. What are your big goals? We want to know what they are. These don't have to be school related, by the way. They can be anything in life. So one of my dream goals is to go to Forks, where they shot the Twilight Saga. That's my big dream. I want to go there. That would be fantastic.
Should we
Once
go
I've done
together?
that, let's do it.
Should we go
But
together?
we want to know what your big goals are. So reply to our Q&A, if you can do. Share them because we're nosy and we want to know about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, share those in your own time. What's one of your big goals, Katie? Do you have like a big dream goal?
Yeah, like bucket list. I really, really want to go to Japan during cherry blossom season.
Wow, that's a good one. That's a
Yeah,
good one.
that's one of my like bucket lists goals, what I wanted to do. But I'd say
Yeah,
but that's like long term, but I'd say short term I really want to buy a house.
yeah, that's a
That's
good
my
one.
big thing.
That's a good one. So we've got a Q&A tab in this Teams call. So reply to that with your goals. These don't have to be massive and over ambitious, although it can be if you want it to be. Your goal could be that you want to own a cat one day or learn to drive, or it could be that you want to go on a road trip across America, or even, become an astronaut. Doesn't matter how big or how small, but we'll let you post those whilst we chat about this other stuff as well.
Yeah. And
Um,
also don't be afraid if you are shy, we'll keep it anonymous. To be wealthy. I
love
mean,
that.
Rebecca, me too.
Same. To be wealthy, that's it. We've got to love it. And no one's dream is or goal is like incorrect or correct. Like
No.
it's what your goal is. Like it's so personal to you. Um, I think that we all know that we've all got our own big goals and dreams and aspirations, and they're big ones. But what about the ones that you have to do with school? So your school goals. Some of you might just have a simple goal of getting through it, just finishing it, getting through year 11, doing what you need to do. But others, you might have more specific goals. So you've all got target grades. So that might count as one of your goals. You might have areas to focus on in revision. And in a minute, we're going to get you to write down some of those school focus goals that you've got. You should have all received a copy of our Rocket Goals sheets that we've made. And you can type on those. You don't have to print them off or anything like that. So we'll pop that in the comments for you in a minute. But yes, so that's going to be an activity that you can do. You can do during this webinar, you can do in your own time. But I think it's really good to write these things down because you almost sort of manifest them and visualize them and set them, as a real goal in your head by writing them down. I think even the action's quite powerful. Because I think it does sound cliche, but literally just the action of you thinking and coming up with some time-bound goals for yourself and visualizing them, it's one step closer to achieving them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that we can get that added to the chat. If you give me 1 minute. I'm just
Well,
trying to remember where they were.
talking about me and writing down our goals, Merlin and I are avid bullet journalers. I don't know
Yes.
what the name is.
Journal.
Like write down. I sometimes even write it down like what I would like to achieve this month.
Yeah.
And it's not. And I do a degree on the side, but it doesn't have to be school related. It could be that I want to get outside more, have a bit more time for myself,
Yeah.
read a little bit more, like reading for pleasure,
Yeah.
because you do a lot of reading for school or for uni. So, yeah, definitely writing it down is a great thing.
It's a good
Forgot
start,
how to
isn't it?
speak there for a second.
It's all right. So I've been speaking all day, so the English language is a beautiful and wonderful thing to me right now. So yeah, so let's go through this sheet. Okay, this is what it looks like. So I've posted a link in the chat. I don't know why it's called what it's called in the chat, but if you click on that link, you should be able to access this sheet and you should be able to click on them and edit the boxes within it. So let's go through these one by one. So first of all, what do you want to leave behind in year 9? So you might have some bad habits that you do. I think that for me, year 9, it wasn't as serious a year as year 10 and year 11. It was like your last hurrah before, you've got to sort of buckle down and get a little bit more serious about your schoolwork. But that was just my perspective. Your perspective might be different than that. I think actually quite a few of you will have already started your GCSEs in year 9. So you're getting a taste of that, the big deal in year 9. But do you feel like you've not really worked as hard as you could have? Do you feel like you messed a lot up in class? Or it could be something at home that you want to change up. Maybe you're easily distracted by your phone when you're trying to study. Now, you see, when we were in school, we did have phones, but they weren't, singing, all dancing. I think I had Snake on my phone, and that was the extent. I remember having to pay for credits on my phone to access Facebook. So, we didn't have that distraction, but you've all essentially got the world in your pockets. I can see why that would distract you. So, is there a habit that you want to leave behind that you did do that you don't want to do anymore? So if you write your answer down in your own time, you can do it now, you can do it later. So that's our first goal, okay? So a bad habit that you want to leave behind in year 9, okay? So that's our first one. What's our next one? What good habits do you want to take into year 10? So what do you currently do in terms of maybe studying or productivity or revision techniques? What do you do that works that you want to carry on into year 10? Do you have a really good work ethic? Are you really disciplined? Are you good at separating your work space and your fun space? See, that's one thing I struggled with. I shared a room with my sister up until I left for uni, so we didn't have our own space. So the space that I would work at would either be my bed or my desk where my video game computer was. Okay, and there was no space for anywhere else. So I had a problem separating the two. Fantastic. Rebecca's put flashcards in the comments. Something like that. What good habits do you want to take into year 10? Flashcards really helped for me when, especially in biology and things like that, when there's terms and definitions and things. So that's a good one. So if you write that down in your worksheets, but yeah, make it something which is going to help you get closer to that big goal, okay? And finally, what do you want to achieve by the end of year 11? Do you have specific target grades in mind? Okay, we did the ABC system. I think you guys work with numbers, don't you? So like 1 to 9. What are your target grades? And I think with this, it's worth us noting that only you know your ability, only you know your own standards and your own expectations. Okay, so what would you be proud to have achieved by the end of year 11, whether that's having showed up and had a crack at your exams, achieved 5 grade 8s in your final result, or even just got through the exam season in one piece? Remember, no goal's a bad one. It's all about your personal experience, okay? So there are ROPIT goals. Feel free to write those in your own time or do them right now. Either way, share them in the comments if you want to. The comments are open, okay? And let us know when you can what you picked for your goals, okay? So yeah, we'd love to hear about those. You can do those now, you can do those later, but we're going to move on to our next part, which is stepping up key stage 4, okay? So here we go. Over to you, Katie.
Yeah, so we've been reflective and we'd had to think about what we want or how we want to approach Key Stage 4. Now we're going to show you the resources we've got on our site, which are ready and available for all of you to help you help guide you into your GCSEs. So we're also going to give you a quick tour of the GCSE site and where to find the tools to maximize your productivity and study schedules as well. I'm going to try and take over so I can get onto the website. Is that all right, Merlin?
Yeah, of course, go for it.
Are you able to see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, perfect. So first up, every single subject on our GCSE site has a Getting Ready For playlist attached to it. So if we just take, for example, what's fun? English literature. English. So we've got the Getting Ready For resources here. These playlists contain specially selected content to help you think about the knowledge and the skills that you'll need to move forward to Key Stage 4. So let me show you an example. Say you're really, this is examples for maths. Sorry. Say you're really nervous about getting into GCSE maths and have no idea what content to expect, or even if it is English. when you have a click on the maths tile, as you did from the home section there, and then go into the getting ready for resources, some of the content you may have heard of before, or other parts of it may be completely new to you. So don't panic. You can work through this content at your own pace. You can watch the pods, and you can even give some check and challenges a go as well. So these are quizzes that are kind of associated with the pods. I'll just give you a little look around this area first, because I feel like that was very like, what am I doing here? So just to go again, you have all of your subjects here. We'll go into maths, into the getting ready for tile. So it's always at the start. And then you'll have a playlist of the pods here. Now at the bottom, you've got a purple banner here, which is check and challenge. So what you do is press start and then get started. And these are questions on the pods that are there, on the getting ready for keys, on the getting ready for content. And you get a go at these where I've just literally forgot how to speak. I'm so sorry. Like we've been at a charity day all day, which has been absolutely incredible. But I feel like our brains are just catching up. So apologies for this. So check-in challenges are basically little quizzes that you can kind of have a go at. And when you're going through them, what's really cool is you get 2 goes on each question. So which of the following would count as it? I have no idea. I'm really bad at maths. So I'm just going to go colours of cars, which is obviously might be wrong, but I can get a hint here. So that kind of takes, again, maybe height in meters? No.
You know what, you tried.
So
You tried.
I tried. So you can see here that I've got the question wrong. And what's great about checking challenges, it's like you have your own personal tutor with you. So you'll get feedback statements which tell you whether the question's right or whether the question's wrong. So I can try again. I'm going to go with this one. Oh, you know what? I'm so smart. So it gives you feedback as to why the question's right as well. And you get diamonds as you go through here too. So if you get a question right the first time, you'll get 2 diamonds. Wrong the first time, right the second time, you'll get 1 diamond there. So it's really good for you to be able to come in here, moving from, from year 9 into year 10. It's really good for you to be able to come in and just kind of see where you're at, see what you can expect. That's what the getting ready for content is there for. You can track your progress as well when you go through here. So I know on this account, if I go into biology and then into cell biology and then cell structure, so into the check and challenges here, you'll see that I've been trying cell structure, and I can actually track my progress over time. So even if you wanted to go in maybe at the start of year 9 just to see where you're at, you can actually throughout the year go back periodically and just see where you're at throughout the year. So I think that that's really cool as well. So you can access check and challenges at the bottom of every getting ready for tile. And you can feel free to have a look across the site. As I said, went into biology there. You just always have to look out for the check and challenge logo. And it's really good when you pull it into your revision, as you'll see with the playlists as well, because you can consolidate your learning as you're going. So you can just go back and check where you're at with it. Sorry, that felt very messy, but if anybody has any questions, please let me know.
Yeah, of course. And I think thing is with check and challenges, you can just give it a go. Like,
yeah.
If you get it wrong, you get told why you've got the question wrong. It gives you feedback. So even if you don't just stick on the getting ready for playlists, you can look at any other part of the website and just give it a crack, because you never know. So I think that's, good shout. So I'm gonna steal the screen back, if that's okay.
No.
Actually it isn't. How dare you?
How dare you?
So I'm just gonna steal the screen back, and I'm gonna take you through the workbooks that we've got on our getting ready for playlist as well, because they're really, really useful. If I can just find the right tab. Is that it? Doobly-doo? There we go. So we've gone through check and challenges, and we've told you, we've emphasized about just, it's this shy bairns getting out. If you don't know what that saying is, it means if you don't try, then you won't know. We don't expect you to get 100% or ace any of this content. That's not the point of it. But we do encourage you to just just give it a go. And if it doesn't work for you, then it doesn't work for you. But as well as the playlists, the getting ready for playlists with the video content and the check and challenge quizzes, which are available for every single subject, each getting ready for playlist also has a workbook full of activities for you. Okay, so they're designed to give you a taste of what's to come. So I'm going to go to maths, because that was always something I was scared about learning, and I always struggled to grasp concepts in maths. So I'm going to go to the getting ready for playlist for maths by clicking on that tile. So you can see there's all the check and challenges, like Katie showed you, and there's the pods. If you see here, the extra resources tab. So if I click on that, download a workbook full of activities and get a taste of what's to come. So if I click on this button here, I'm taken to our getting ready for Key Stage 4 maths workbook. Okay, this is essentially set out like top 10 things for you to prep before you go into GCSE maths. Okay, so it'll go through each thing one by one. So number skills, practicing your core skills of addition. It gives you guidance on where to start. And don't worry if it's not going to make complete sense to you. If you're reading through some of this and you're like, what are you talking about? I don't know how to convert decimals into percentages. Doesn't matter. All we ask is that you read through it, and so that you know what to expect. You know, it might all not make complete sense to you, but we just encourage you, as I've already said a million times, just to give it a go. Okay. These workbooks, as well as the videos and the check and challenges, they've all been handwritten and selected by subject experts in these subjects that you're studying. So you know you're going to get the best guidance on where to look first. Okay. And you know, I think it's year 9 when you've all picked your options for your GCSEs. And some of you may have picked an option that you might not necessarily feel the most confident in, but either way, this is giving you a taste of what's to come. Okay, it's giving you a taste of those subjects that you've picked, and you know what to expect and what that subject's going to look like. Okay, so speaking of subject matter experts, okay, so they write all of our content for us, and it's bespoke content especially for you. We've got what am I doing? There we go. We've got a piece of content for you, a video, and it's our subject experts just letting you know what they would say for top tips of you moving into year 10 or Key Stage 4. Okay, let me know if you can hear this. I might have to reshare.
I guess the challenge 9
Can you hear
into
it?
year 10 is making
Fantastic.
sure that you're holding on to the knowledge you've already got.
Yeah, if you're going from year 9 to year 10, I think there's no time to waste. You arrive in year 10 and you need to apply yourself in the very first lesson, and you also need to manage your time well. I think you think about all the commitments you have and make a plan. So whether that be personal commitments or school commitments, but make that plan.
Get inspired, find something you're interested in that's going to motivate you. I think secondly, without creating revision timetables, because that's not what you want to be doing over the summer, but being a little bit organised with your time is helpful. So kind of decide how much time you're going to commit over the summer. It doesn't have to be a lot. So if all you think you can manage is 5 minutes a day or 10 minutes every couple of days, but kind of make a call about how much you're prepared to commit and what's achievable.
So there's just some little tidbits of advice I would say of top tips. And I think the last subject expert there, Angela, I think she was quite realistic, because you know, you might set yourself up and say, okay, I'm going to revise for 6 hours a day over the summer. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. But then,
challenge for year 9.
Oh,
Ben, we
Ben.
don't need you. Ben, you're jumping the gun a bit there, Ben. You know, we don't expect you to Angela said, maybe over the summer, you know, I know there's a little bit of time between now and when summer starts, but just start thinking about organising your time and maybe having even just an hour a week of looking at some of this getting ready for content, having a go at one check and challenge and seeing how you go. And you know that when you start, as soon as you start doing this, it might become a bit more of a routine over the summer, and you might do a little bit more and more and more. But don't set yourself unrealistic, overwhelming expectations that you might never meet, because you're constantly going to feel like you've not done enough. But even just even just you being here this evening shows that you've all got the right attitudes, and you're all, you know, intent on making the most out of the time you've got until year 10 starts. So yeah. Does anyone here, I'm going to ask a question and I want you all to reply in the chat. Does anyone here know how to revise? Like, do you have a revision technique that you use that's your go-to, or do you kind of feel stressed when you're revising because you're like, I don't know how I'm supposed to revise for English, I don't know how to revise for biology, I don't know how to revise for maths? Like, what's everyone's go-to revision technique? No, you don't know how to revise?
I was going to say, this isn't a trick question. Your teachers aren't hiding out in the webinar.
Yeah.
You can answer freely if you don't
They're
have like
lurking.
a revision technique.
Like, and if you do have a revision that you use, can you let us know what it is? So we had Rebecca earlier saying flashcards. But I think if a subject's like, I don't know, like English, I always struggled on how do you revise for English, you know?
Yeah, it's
There's
tough,
going to be
isn't it?
different kind of, yeah. I think that there's never a sort of a way that you can pinpoint. Make some notes and try memorizing, like for science. I either spend a lot of time revising or I spend none. That's so like relatable. It's like
Yeah.
all or nothing sometimes.
Yeah, you'll
Yeah.
wake up one morning and you'll be like, I am going to be the next Rory Gilmore. I am just here for the books. Don't care about anything else. Do you know, for English, I used to write down like the quotes for Shakespeare and different quotes from different texts that we were doing, and I would stick them up in random places in my room. So like if I was
cool.
going like on like flashcards, I would stick like if I was going to like get change or something, I'd put some on my
And your
on my
wardrobe.
wardrobe doors and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Because I guess
So
you're
they
gonna
were always
passively
there.
take it in. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. There was some girl in my year that had put them into Polly Pockets and put them in the shower, and I just didn't agree with that.
That's a bit too much.
Have your shower in peace.
You need your me time, don't you?
You
your me time.
you need your me time.
Yeah, that's not for me.
No.
But yeah, I mean, some people, for some people, just making notes from hearing a teacher talk is really effective for them. For other people, it's not. You know,
Yeah.
for some, making flashcards or index cards works really well. Okay, so let us know in the comments what revision technique works best for you.
Yeah.
But Kate is gonna take us through some effective ones that we have on our site.
Yeah. Well, for those of you who may not know the most effective revision technique, for you that like works for you, you don't have to worry. You're still right at the beginning of your journey to GCSE, and you've got a bit of time to work out which study and revision techniques work best for you, because as Marilyn said, it is different for everyone. But we have some great resources on the site, so you can do this through our learning activities, which are located beside the content. So I'm going to take over again.
Yeah,
hopefully better than last time, and remember how to speak. So I'm going to go into English literature, and I'm going to go into drama, because we love
drama.
We love a bit of drama. I'm going to go into Macbeth. So we've got our pods here, we've got the check and challenge here, and up here there's something called learning activities. Okay, so these are activities that have been designed to encourage you to think about our content, take what you've learned and create something new in a way that helps you to engage, understand and reinforce the learning. So they basically help the knowledge stick in your mind. And what's really good is there's tons of them. So if you were to do one and say that word doesn't work for me, there's loads that you can try, and this is the year that you can try them and see what works best for you. So I'm just going to read out a few here. So probopod, I'm not really sure about the wording of that, like. So design 10 questions relating to the pod. You must also include solutions or model answers to the questions. That's pretty good. We've got 100 words. This is, can you summarize the pod I think this one's really good, actually. Can you summarize the pod into 100 words, decide which words are integral to your explanation, and include key formulae, quotes or symbols if needed. That's so good, because if you're answering a question, you have to sometimes adhere to ensuring that you're putting all of the correct knowledge and not I'm a waffler, as you can tell.
Yeah.
I'm a big waffler. I do an English degree, so waffle
Professional
is
waffler.
I'm basically a professional waffler. So doing something like this is going to help you like train yourself into putting the correct information into an answer. So lots of these, they're great. Another cool thing to look at is if you see here, this pod book activities is in yellow. If you go in here, this has all of the different techniques in here. And I don't know if a lot of people know about this. So you've got all of the different techniques. And if you wanted to, when you're getting started, you could actually print this out and use this as kind of like, almost like a revision kind of Bible, you know?
Oh,
So you
wow.
can try.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it's really good. So these activities will help you cement the knowledge in your mind because you're thinking about like the different examples we've used there. You're thinking about the information and creating something new. So I would say if maybe you've done revision one sort of way before, like you've always done it, maybe note taking, maybe flashcards, try a completely different approach because you could find something that works for you. So if you're used to doing mind maps, but you don't know if they're the most effective revision method, try one which encourages you to present the information to someone else. So you could do Probopod and then, or not Probopod, 100 words. You could do that and then read it out to someone at home. Because it could be really like the stuff that you learn at GCSE is really interesting. So
Yeah,
you could
yeah.
write something out and present it.
You could basically
yeah.
like do it like a TED talk. So you could like find a Britney mic to wear, and then you can like walk into the room. You know, like how there's a whole trend on TikTok of people doing presentation nights about their jobs and stuff. You can
Yeah.
have like a little night where you meet. I'm just thinking about this off the top of my head. You could meet up with your friends and each have a fun, engaging TED talk about a different aspect of revision. I mean, maybe I would have done that with my group of friends. I don't know if everyone would do that, but
Yeah, actually, yeah, I'm thinking about back to school and I can't imagine actually bringing that up. Pets' personalities. So
there's something like psychology, some psychology.
yeah,
like,
something behind them, like just because I gave your pets personalities as well. Like
Yeah.
Queso is the recluse.
Okay, so
Gomez
the
is
cat
like,
is a recluse.
yeah,
Gomez is the
outgoing.
chaotic presence. Yeah.
Yeah. Getting off topic here, but let's continue.
Okay, so we've gone over learning activities, which I think give them a go because it's going to make you approach that learning in a completely different way. And that moves your knowledge from your short term to your long term memory. So, like Katie said, it's going to stick. Okay, so give it a go. You never know. That's our saying of the day.
What was our formula for success that when we were doing the GCSE webinars? I can hear myself through your.
Oh,
Can
can
you hear
you?
me?
Oh dear.
No, don't worry,
Hang
it's
on.
going now, I think. When you're talking, it's fine.
Okay.
So if you were to try maybe watching a couple of the pods on the getting ready for content, use some of the learning activities with those pods. So these are the steps. You can start off by watching them, use a learning activity, and then do a check and challenge and just check your knowledge. Or you could even try watching them doing the revision technique you're used to, and then do check and challenge and then compare it to when you do a learning activity. There's so much time for you to see what works for you, and that's going to help you in the long run over the next 2 years.
Definitely. Fantastic advice there. Okay, so what have we gone through this evening? So we've given you a quick little brief tour of the GCSE pod site itself, because there may be some of you on here that have only really seen our Key Stage 3 content and you haven't had a delve into our GCSE content. So we've gone through that. We've also let you know about our Getting Ready For playlists that have check and challenges on there. Katie's giving you a tour of check and challenges, and you can track your progress, see, you know, it's like having a personal tutor by your side. We've also let you know about our workbooks, our Getting Ready For workbooks, and Katie's also let you know about our learning activities and also the sort of the revision Bible, where it gives you different ways to actively learn. Okay, because there's passive learning, isn't there, where you listen to a pod and then you just listen to it and that's it, or you engage with it in a different way using more than one like sense. Okay, so you're doing something whilst you're listening. Okay, so that's what we've gone over so far, and I think that we've also done our rocket goals as well. So you've all probably hopefully written some fantastic goals which we'd love to hear about if you're comfortable sharing. But we're going to round off now. Okay, we've thrown a load of information at you this evening, and it might be a little bit overwhelming. Your brains might be like, oh. This feeling though of high pressure, of overwhelmingness, that's not a word. You know, you might feel that at some point during the next academic year or two. You know, we're not going to be like all happy, smiley, and say that it's going to be plain sailing all the way through. Sometimes you're going to have days where, you know, you're trucking through with revision. And, you know, even now, we remember how much pressure it is to be your age and to be going through exams and things.
I have dreams about it. I left school 11 years ago, and I can still, and that's leaving cert, that's like A levels, and I still have dreams about being in
resources that are totally free and available to you on managing stress, managing your well-being, and essentially just looking after number one. Okay, so I'm going to take you through what it looks like. This may not be for everyone, and that's okay, but we just want to show you where they are so that should you want to access them, you can do. Okay, so if you go on your homepage, so there's all these subject tiles, and you'll be able to see keeping fit and healthy. Okay, so this tile here, so I'm going to click on that. And then we've got 4 different sections. We've got body, mind, environment, and team U. So one thing I was talking about earlier was me struggling to separate my workspace and my fun space. Okay, so I'm going to go to environment because that's something which pertains to me. Here, we've got some individual videos, one on clutter, one on goal setting, and one on habits. All right, so I'm going to go to clutter because the whole house is cluttered at the moment, so I can relate to this. So essentially, these videos will give you some advice, some guidance, and maybe even sometimes address things through, you know, that explain things using science and the biology side of it, like how your brain works. It tells you why we clutter, how we can reduce clutter, and what that does to our brain in consequence. Okay, it basically gives you some real forward practical advice on how to, you know, essentially look after your mind, your body, and the environment that you're in. Okay, so you can see here, I've not got the sound going, but it tells you how clutter can increase our levels of stress and anxiety, and that's scientifically proven. Okay, so I sometimes have it where I know that I need to do all this work. I work from home, so I've got all these distractions, and if this office is messy, then I'll be like, oh, I'll just quickly clean the office. And then I, you know, take some mugs downstairs and I see the washing up. So I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm just going to do that washing up. And it's because the clutter's there. It's distracting. Okay. It's moving my brain away from the focus I need to be on, which is working.
I'm just thinking about that video where it's like down, walking, rearranging furniture. Like anytime I go and I whoever's watching might feel the same. When you have that clutter, you have something there. When I'm sitting down to do uni work or do any sort of work, I feel like, oh, I like Merlin saying, I'm going to do this first, I'm going to do that first, and all you're doing is putting off the task that you're doing. So like, it does 100% help having a clear space.
It really does, and this video will give you that guidance. So here there's one on goal setting, there's one on setting habits. If I just nip into body, so this is about the importance of posture. I'm just going to straighten my back as I say that, because my posture is horrendous. One on exercise, hydration, nutrition, sleep and stress. And then if I go to the mind one, so I'm someone who suffers from stress and anxiety. So this is, you know, even for me at 29, this is still helpful. So about mindfulness, relaxation. Okay, so as well as studying and as well as you know, having that as part of your timetable, relaxing and de-stressing should be part of your revision timetable. It's scientifically proven that if you do not have that space away from learning, that time where you put the book down and say, okay, I'm going to go play Minecraft for half an hour. I'm going to have a cup of tea and stroke my cat for a little bit. We don't have that space from it. Then our body produces more and more of this. Here we go. This something called cortisol, which me and Katie call stress juice. Okay.
Yeah.
So if that builds up and builds up and builds up, it makes it harder for us to retain information. So you will not be able to revise as effectively if you do not have that time away from your learning to let yourself recharge. Okay. So, you know, and this video will go over that and explain why and give you step-by-step guidance and how to reduce that stress. Okay. So that's our getting ready for resources. One thing I want to ask you, I'm going to launch a poll now. How do you de-stress and relax in your spare time? I want to know, what do you do to, you know, to at the end of the long day, maybe you've had, you know, an intense revision session. What do you do to relax in your spare time? Katie, what do you do?
I really like to read, and I also like to go to the gym, and I love having going on a really long walk with my little dog Willow.
Love that. I like gardening. I know I sound like an old man, but I love gardening. And then when I'm gardening, I have an audiobook in and I listen to an audiobook. I also like playing video games. So I'm currently playing a game called Stardew Valley, if anyone has anyone has played it. And I like, you know, building my little
Did you just get
farm.
married? Didn't you just get married?
I got
Stardew
I
Valley?
got married. I've got a loving husband in Stardew Valley, and winter is upon us. So I'm currently preparing for the spring. But we've had some lovely responses here. We've had
family time.
Family time is really lovely. I like that.
Pets, yeah.
Pets, yes. Roblox, yes.
Playing Fortnite. Music. Music's a massive one, yeah.
Music's a good one.
Football.
I've had loads, yeah. Football, yeah, a bit of sports. That's really good for your mind and your body.
TV, yeah.
TV, fantastic. What are you watching at the moment, Kate? Are you watching anything interesting?
What am I? We've just finished something.
Yeah.
And I don't remember what it is.
Great.
Sorry. We finished something and then I felt like I had a void. It mustn't have been that great if I don't. Do you know what? Just skip over me. What about you?
Should we share these responses because these are lovely?
Yeah.
So we've had music, family time, games, books, anime, netball. Oh my god, I miss netball. I love netball. Fantastic. Brilliant. I'll leave that poll open because I'd love to hear a little bit more about what everyone's doing. To be honest, I think that's
cat. There's
you
one
what?
that just says cat.
Cat. Love that. Me.
Yeah.
Me. But yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. All that we've got left to say now is I think thank you. You know, thank you for taking the time to be here with us. Because we want to make sure this is as useful for you as possible. Okay. And then once you've done that one, I think I've got another one. I'm on it on the polls tonight.
You're loving a poll.
I love a poll. I do. We want you to rate your experience of this webinar. So if 1 star's rubbish and 5 stars is mint, let us know what the how useful it was for you. If you don't have any questions, then feel free to go. Enjoy your evenings. All right. But yeah, other than that, let us know if you found this webinar useful.
Audience, like so.
Oh, you really have.
You
really have.
Well, audience. I mean, attendees.
What did you say?
I said audience. as if I'm putting on a show. No, attendees, really great. It's been really great to hear about how you relax and revision techniques. And these, me and Merlin and I love doing this and showing you the website. So it's be nice when you've got a lovely group.
Fantastic. And then, you know, feel free to contact us on our social media if you've got any questions or you need any guidance. But otherwise, happy revising, and we hope that in September, year 10 goes well.
Yes.
Someone has asked where the printable resources are. I will reshare that. So it's a link that I've got. So
is that for the rocket goals or is it for the revision?
Oh, the printable resources. I don't know. Do you wanna show them again, Katie? Is that all right?
Yeah, of course. So
Thank you.
on the website, when you go to the learning activities that are at the top of any playlist, so if you go into any subject here, so we'll just go into English literature again, back to drama because we love the drama. And then any playlist at the top, there's learning activities here. So if you just press on any of those activities and then go onto the pod book activities that's in yellow, that's on every single one, it will bring up a separate page with all of the activities together. And then all you have to do is press print out and then it'll just look for your nearest printer.
There we go. Fantastic stuff. We hope that was helpful. And yeah, if there's no questions, then go and enjoy your nights.
Go and have a good night. And thank you so much and best of luck in September.
Thank you so much, everyone. See you later.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.